some very sad news has just hit the UK theme park industry, because one of our most famous wooden roller coasters that is also the oldest coaster we have here in the UK has been announced to completely close after 106 years. If you don't know the ride I'm talking about, it is the Scenic Railway at Dreamland Margate in Margate, in Kent, which is a wooden roller coaster that opened in 1920, and it's had its fair share of issues, setting on fire and derailing in the past, but now it won't have any of those issues anymore because the park have announced it will be closing for good. Although because of a certain factor, the coaster has to stick around in some shape or form. But we'll get onto that, because today I'm going to talk all about the history of this ride and when I first got to ride it in 2023. Had 106 years to ride this thing, and I managed to ride it in the last 3 years. Not that I was alive before 2004. And also go into that future of what we can expect to see in place of this ride or on top of this ride. So make sure you watch till the end, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because I do cover this sort of news all the time every week in this past week of theme parks, which this was supposed to be, but I'd already recorded that episode and then this news came out. And I think it's only right to do a separate video solely on this, because it was a very iconic roller coaster for the UK. Like I said, opening in 1920, this wooden roller coaster was very different from most modern wooden roller coasters, because you know those automatic brakes when the train hits them, it automatically slows down. No, had none of that, because even still in the modern day when it was operating, they had a brakeman riding the train that would have a lever that they pull back and forth that would slow down the train and obviously release those brakes to speed it up. I loved that so much. An absolute classic, and I am really sad to see it going. Like I mentioned though, this ride was plagued with issues throughout those 106 years, because quite a few years after it opened in 1949, lots of the track burnt down, which meant they had to make major repairs, managing to get it up and running in 1950, and then fire destroyed another part of the ride in 1957, and yet again they rebuilt it, and then very much later on, in 2002, the Scenic Railway at Dreamland Margate was made a Grade 2 listed building, making this the first roller coaster of all time to basically be immortal. Because if you don't know what Grade 2 listing is, it's pretty much a thing that they put in place to stop buildings being demolished, no matter how run down they get. So the Scenic Railway can't be removed or destroyed. What does that mean for the future? We will get into that. It continued to operate until 2008 came, where there was an arson attack, where yet again a huge portion of the ride was damaged to fire. That one taking 7 years for the coaster to be repaired when it reopened in 2015. In the meantime, getting upgraded to a Grade 2 star listed building, which definitely meant it can't be removed. And that huge 7-year process of trying to restore it, they had the whole structure fall down and everything during the restoration. Oh my god, it's a mess. This poor ride had been through so much. And then from 2015 all the way up until 2024, it ran pretty fine until the coaster derailed, where luckily there was no injuries except to the track, because once again the structure was very much damaged. And from that point, because of how old the ride was and the design of it, it was deemed not viable enough to remain open. Hence, Dreamland Margate then making the decision to announce literally moments ago when I'm recording this, that Scenic Railway, the oldest roller coaster in the UK, is departing after 106 years. Which is just mind-blowing that a ride like that has lasted that long, with all of those issues in between as well. I can't believe it's still standing, to be fair. And you'd think a ride of that age would be so rough and rickety. When I went on it back in 2023, it was smooth as butter. Genuinely one of the smoothest coasters I'd been on in the UK. The drops and everything was so gliding and graceful. All like the turns back and forth, just really nice. And of course the brakeman on there as well, depending on whether they wanted to brake or not. Make it a really nice throwing side to side during the ride. But yeah, it's sad to see it gone so soon. Although 106 years, I think it definitely ran its course. If you do want to watch my reaction to that entire park and going on that coaster for the first time, then do go and check out the vlog after this video is done, because now we won't be able to ride it anymore. But I'm not too sure what they're going to do with it, because like I mentioned, it is a Grade 2 listed building, meaning they can't get rid of it. So is it just going to sit there? The world's first coaster that is literally meant to be standing but not operating? Well, the park has actually stated that the ride will remain at the park as a feature, but will no longer be open. The Scenic Railway has completed its journey as a roller coaster and will now take well-earned retirement from operation as a ride. But then continue to follow that up with, this is not the end, but a new beginning. RMC Scenic Railway. We're committed to developing a new long-term vision that will not only showcase this remarkable Grade 2 listed structure, Grade 2 star actually, but reimagine its purpose so it can continue to be enjoyed by future generations in a fresh and meaningful way. They also state that this summer they will be hosting a pop-up exhibition to do with the Scenic Railway and celebrating it, and followed that up with, in the longer term, it will be reinvented for people to enjoy in a different way. So what I'm seeing with these articles and interviews that have happened with the park, I think this ride is going to close. Really? They'll do any restoration work to sort of keep it upright and standing, but obviously not operating. And from that point, when the park gets a little bit more investment, maybe transform that ride into a brand new one that uses that original structure. And I mean, by the time the RMC restraint laws are allowed in this country, this thing will probably still be just sitting here doing nothing. A roller coaster that ain't rolling. A statue coaster, if you will. But say in 5 to 10 years or even longer, if the Gravity Group or RMC themselves wanted to do this huge project with Dreamland Margate to renovate and bring back the Scenic Railway using its old structure but keeping that similar layout and vibe, I don't think they'd be against it, you know. Obviously it comes with the cost and everything, that's a big part, but all the locals in the area and everyone who visited Margate is very, very sad that this is just going to be left as a statue. And those who have ridden it, like myself, will be really sad that we can't go and ride it again. So if they could, going forward, to try and retrack it or rework it in a way that still sits within the regulations of the Grade 2 listed building, I think that'd be really awesome to see. So whether it is an RMC conversion or just a retrack of the exact same layout, I would love to see something done with this ride. But then again, I am a theme park fan and I would want to see a new ride in place of this. Some people there might just want to see a walkway to sort of walk the layout of it, or maybe, I don't know, just leave it there as a physical statue. Or even if they use the wood to make some sort of structure, I don't know. There are many more avenues than just a brand new roller coaster. Although with that being said, if you do want to see me make a brand new version of the Scenic Railway, whether it be an RMC or just a retrack, 1,000 likes and I will do a video where I create that new version of it. I would love to be able to keep this wooden roller coaster around. We are losing way too many wooden roller coasters and we're losing just way too many coasters in general. I mean, heck, we lost an entire theme park at the start of last year. Let's not do that with Dreamland Margate, please. Roller coasters are meant to be fun, not sad. But yeah, this isn't the most surprising news because it has been closed since 2024, and you could sort of tell in this day and age with the costs and everything and how old it is that it would close. It's just really sad to see that news finally come out about it, and if you really want to, the park has literally put a massive statement out asking for your guys' input to come up with some ideas to shape the future of Dreamland Margate and the Scenic Railway. You can go on their socials and their website to see all of that. The only thing is it's a lot more real than like the Planet Coaster challenges I've done. So if you think about a 700-foot RMC, don't bother. But if you are an actual designer and have a company that you want to work with Dreamland Margate on renovating this Scenic Railway, then yeah, go and check it out because it'd be really cool to see what happens. I hope you enjoyed this nice little look back at the Scenic Railway and the sad news that it has been removed. Well, I hope you didn't enjoy that because it's not very good news. Leave your thoughts on the Scenic Railway down below, any memories that you had of riding that ride. Like I said as well, 1,000 likes and I will do a video where I replace the Scenic Railway and make maybe an RMC. Ooh. And hopefully I'm not making too many more of these videos in the future. See you later.